welcome my people. Here I am again on LAJUPOG TV. As you all know, it's our custom to bring you interesting gist about what's happening across the nation and the entire globe. Today we bring you another interesting gist about the ongoing national protests happening right now in the country. A few hours ago, EFFC, a Nigerian human rights activist, blasted Abiola'S son for saying that Nigerian economic hardship is in the hands of God. This statement disappointed EFFC, especially hearing it from the son of Nigeria's former president during an interview about the prevailing economic crisis and hardship facing the citizen. Remember, this is also what triggered the anger of the young masses who came out to protest, while the Vice President Shettima, during an interaction on August 1, 2024, which was the first day of the protest, made an insulting and unsympathetic statement of the protesters. All this and more will be discovered in this video. If you are joining us for the first time or watching from any part of the world, kindly click on the notification button, like, comment and share this video so it can go viral and you can get notified of our next video.
Welcome to LAJUPOG TV show.
The whole of crime scene
is happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happiness in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome back. As we all know, the citizens of Nigeria, who are mainly the leader of tomorrows, are out there to express their interest and feelings about the economic hardship to the government. This widespread expression of dissatisfaction and concern has been a powerful demonstration of the public's frustration with the current state of affairs. Despite the news that some of the protests are hijacked by unruly elements, resulting in destruction of some government properties, the core message of the peaceful protesters remains clear and urgent. Tragically, in the midst of this event, several lives have been lost and many others have been severely injured. The gravity of the situation calls for immediate and compassionate attention from the nation's leadership. Instead of addressing the protesters' complaints, cries, grievances, President Tinubu has remained silent, which has only deepened the public sense of abandonment and despair. This silence has been perceived as a lack of concern for the citizens suffering and has fueled further unrest. Meanwhile, Vice President Shettima, who was out of the country at the time, exacerbated the situation by sending an abusive message to the public, derogatorily calling them fools for exercising their political and human rights. The rights are enshrined under Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, which guarantees every person the right to assemble freely and associate with others, while Section 45 of the Constitution does allow for the right to be restricted in the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, public health, or to protect the right or freedoms of others. The Vice President's use of such dismissive and offensive language was widely condemned. So why would a constitutionally elected Vice President of Nigeria use such foul language towards the citizen, especially during such a critical and sensitive time? The public expect their leaders to be empathetic and to communicate with respect and dignity, especially when addressing the grievances of the people. This expectation was severely undermined by the Vice President's remarks, adding fuel to an already volatile situation. As if the Vice President's comments were not enough to inflame public sentiment, Abiola'S, the son of Nigeria's former president, further stirred controversy by stating that Nigeria's economic hardship is in the hands of God. This statement was perceived by many as an attempt to deflect the responsibility from the government and dismiss the real tangible factors contributing to the economic crisis. The public reaction was swift and harsh, as felt that Abiola'S' comment trivialized their suffering and failed to acknowledge the systemic issues at play. This statement led to a strong rebuke from human rights activist EFFC, who expressed profound disappointment. EFFC's response resonated with many citizens who felt that the remark was not only insensitive but also an invasion of accountability. This controversy drew further criticism from Channel TV, where EFFC stated that Abiola'S had desecrated his father's name and legacy with his comment. The late MKO Abiola'S is remembered as a significant figure in Nigeria's political history, and his legacy is held in high regard by many. Thus, Abiola'S' remarks were seen as a disservice to the values and ideals his father stood for. The unfolding events have only intensified the public's discontent and highlighted the urgent need for responsible leadership. The citizens are demanding answers, empathy, and a genuine commitment to addressing the economic hardship they face. The government's response or lack thereof will play a crucial role in determining the direction of this protest and the broader state of the nation. The situation remains fluid and delicate, requiring careful and thoughtful handling to avoid escalation. Let's watch this full video to get the entire gist.
When I was a kid, there was a hospital near my house. When they take me there, whenever I have malaria, they're going to give me injection. I'll just run away. And they will drag me back. I'll run away again. Then they'll finally hold me and they'll give me the injection. After 2 days, after the pain, I'll now be happy because I'll be playing around. I would have recovered. So sometimes for you, things to get better, they have to get tough. It's a test and it's from God. But you see, God is testing people. And it's not just in Nigeria.
So God,
in America,
there's a hand of God in all of this.
There's a hand of God in everything. Even in the United States.
In which part?
Even
the hardship?
Everything.
Or the protest?
The hardship, the
or the president coming into power?
The president coming to power was divine. What is happening is also, even in the United States, the highest level of inflation in the United States this year, it's never happened like that in the US before. The whole world, it's like, I don't know what's going on. I think God is really testing us, And I'll tell you this, we have to pass the test. When I see people looting and all of that, all in the name of protest, I say to myself that the person you are looting, you don't know what he has gone through to even open the shop.
I would like to respond to a few things Mr. Jamiu Abiola has said, and to remind Nigerians that in 2019, Mr. Jamiu Abiola told Nigerians that the then Buhari represented the vision of his father, and in fact told Nigerians to vote. He told Nigerians in 2019 to vote for Buhari to honor his father. In 2020, you can fact-check me on this, Jamiu Abiola, who is President Tinubu today, told Nigerians that Buhari had the same vision with his father. When Buhari left in 2023, thousands of Nigerians were slaughtered. The economy was nothing to write home about. The so-called wall against corruption was a complete flop. The entire country was in ruins. Tinubu came in, and even Tinubu has said he made Nigeria destroyed. At least people loyal to him are saying so. So I begin to wonder whether Buhari's legacy represents the vision of Abiola for Nigeria. I think that is the question Mr. Jamiu and his family should think about, because when he speaks in this manner, it is a desecration of the name of his father. And I'm saying that because I'm very upset about some of the things he has said. I think Nigerians should no longer be taken for granted. We cannot continue to live in a country where we have leaders who do not listen to what the people are saying. People claim, that the president is doing this, the president is listening. Mr. SEUN, this protest has lasted for 2 days now. Has President Tinubu spoken to Nigerians? I personally don't want him to address Nigerians. I want him to address the demands of Nigerians. It's not the same thing. But has he even addressed Nigerians? 48 hours after, dozens of over 12 Nigerians have been killed at a minimum. Has the president spoken? 48 hours after, has the government even said, okay, we want to talk? These are our representatives in the dialogue. Because people kept saying protesters should talk to the government. They said the protesters are faceless, they are leaderless. Who are the people that represent the face of the government if the conversation or dialogue is to take place? And what are the demands of the protesters? Because you say people should leave the streets, but have you listened to them? Have you listened to them? You have a president that has 48 ministers, SEUN, 48 ministers, the highest in the history of our country, at a time that the country does not have money to run and pay for basic services. If the president is serious, he shouldn't take Tinubu 1 hour to reduce the number of ministers to 37. Because constitutionally, every state is entitled to minister plus the FCT. There is no reason why Nigeria should have more than 37 ministers. So when the protesters say they need you to reduce the cost of governance, these are actions that can be taken under 24 hours. People say they want electoral reform. SEUN, you saw how the Akpabio Senate and the counterpart in the House of Reps convened to amend the Police Act to extend the tenure of the IG within 24 hours. Under 24 hours emergency session, they also passed an appropriation act. If the president is serious about addressing the protesters, by now the Federal Ministry of Justice would have come up with a draft bill to amend the Electoral Act and send it to the National Assembly to make electronic transmission of results mandatory under our law. This is one of the demands. If the president is serious, if the president is really serious, he would have addressed, other demands of the protesters, including economic policies that have been introduced, that have rendered Nigerians homeless, that have rendered Nigerians hungry. They told us on the 29th of May last year, SEUN, that the president has removed subsidy. We are aware from records that the last year, you can fact check me, about 3 trillion was paid for subsidy. Where is the fuel? We are still having queues. People cannot find it to buy. They have increased the cost of the electricity tariff that has now made a mess of power in our country. So you continue to introduce policies that are subjugating people, and people are protesting. You haven't said anything to address it. You want to buy a new aircraft. You are building a new residence for Shetima, and you say there is no money. And you are saying that people should listen. Now Wike is coming out to make irresponsible statements. I'm not surprised. Nobody is surprised. The same Wike that was threatening people not to come out in the FCT, you are hearing what the governors are saying, because they claim that the president has given money to governors, right, to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians. For me, that is just a largesse, because you are dealing with governors that are not accountable. There is no single house of assembly in Nigeria today, out of the 36, not one, not in Lagos, not in Akwa Ibom, not in Zamfara, that can hold a governor accountable, not even one. All of them have become stooges of governors. SEUN, are you not aware that governors are still spending billions monthly, are still spending billions as running costs to buy new vehicles, to run their government houses on frivolous things? SEUN, we are dealing with a kleptomaniac political class in our country. We are dealing with people that have made up their minds to destroy our country. So how can the president be giving money to governors that nobody can hold accountable? And they claim they are distributing rice. How many rice? How many families have received this rice? How many? They claim that they are going to reduce the cost of a bag of rice to 40,000. Maybe in the villa, they are selling it at that amount. In the markets in Lagos, I haven't seen that. So maybe it's in the Akwa Ibom Senate that they are selling rice for 40,000. I have not seen it anywhere. So the point I am making, if you are really honest about engagement with the protesters, because it's not enough to say you want to engage. Are you really honest about it? Are you honest about it?
The point remains that politician or whoever feels of public taking last. The point remains that politicians, whoever field of public funds, seem to have forgotten their duty to the citizen. This negligence has become increasingly evident as the citizens who have long endured hardship and economic struggle are now actively calling on their elected leaders for accountability and solution. However, instead of responding to this call, President Tinubu remains silent, a stance that has only deepened the public's frustration and disillusionment. The protests, initially peaceful, have escalated to the point where they have been hijacked by hoodlums who are taking advantage of the situation to create chaos. This has further complicated the already tense atmosphere, with reports even suggesting that the Nigerian military might join the protest. The situation took a more serious turn on August 1st, the first day of the protest, and August 2nd, the second day, when the peaceful demonstration were disrupted. The Nigerian police resorted to releasing tear gas to disperse the protesters, justifying their action by claiming they were preventing property destruction, including government properties. Despite the country's turmoil and the loss of several lives, Vice President Shetima made a shocking statement that confirmed the government's disregard for the protesters' demand. His comments seemed to trivialize the gravity of the situation and the legitimate concern of the citizen. This response was from the government further alienated the public, highlighting a significant disconnect between the leaders and the people they are supposed to serve. During an interview with Channel TV, caller Abiola, instead of speaking for the point remains that I believe politicians or whoever feels of public funds seems to have forgotten their duties to the citizen. The negligence, in my opinion, has become increasingly evident as the citizens who have long endured hardship and economic struggles are now actively calling on their elected leaders for accountability and solutions. However, instead of responding to this call, President Tinubu remains silent, a stance that I think has only deepened the public frustration and disillusionment. The protest, initially peaceful, has escalated to the point where they have been hijacked by hoodlums who are taking advantage of the situation to create chaos. This has further complicated the already tense atmosphere, with reports even suggesting that the Nigerian military might join the protest. The situation took a more serious turn on August 4th, the first day of the protest, and August 2nd, the second day, when the peaceful demonstration were disrupted. The Nigerian police resorted to releasing tear gas to disperse the protesters, justifying their action by claiming they were preventing property destruction, including government properties. Despite the country's turmoil and the loss of several lives, Vice President Shettima made a shocking statement that, in my view, confirmed the government's disregard for the protesters' demand. His comments seemed to trivialize the gravity of the situation and legitimate concern of the citizen. This response from the government further alienated the public, enlightening a significant disconnect between the leaders and the people they are supposed to serve. Now, during an interview with Channel TV, Kola Abiola, instead of speaking for the people and addressing their concern, made disappointing statement that did not align with the sentiment of the public. His remarks were seen as a failure to represent the collective voice of the citizen, leading to immediate criticism. He was embarrassed, ridiculed, criticized for his comments, which seemed to ignore the severity of the economic crisis and the people's suffering. Is this government not causing more harm than addressing the request of the citizen? Question has become increasingly relevant as the economic impact of the protest becomes more apparent. It was estimated that Nigeria's economy lost over $350 billion in one day during the protest. With the protest lasting 2 days, we've lost over $700 billion as we speak. The staggering figure raises the question: if Nigeria can lose such a significant amount in just 48 hours, how much are the citizens actually asking for? The economic loss underscores the gravity of the situation and the urgent need for the government to address the people's concern. The only complaint we keep hearing from these governors is that there's no money in the country. This refrain comes even as they continue to borrow trillions of naira. However, according to the calculations from the statistic above, Nigeria made trillions in just 3 days. This apparently discrepancy between the government claim and the reality of the nation's economic potential raises questions about fiscal management and transparency. It suggests that there may be other factors at play that are not being adequately addressed by the current administration. Given the current situation, I advise my fellow protesters to continue the movement peacefully and to avoid any form of violence. It is crucial to maintain the moral high ground and not give the authorities any excuse to dismiss the protest or resort to further repression. Peaceful protest is a powerful tool for change, and it is important to remain united and focused on the collective goal of achieving justice and economic reform. This is where I'll stop for this episode. Once again, if you are just viewing our channel and this video, please kindly turn on the notification icon, comment and share. Don't forget to like this channel. Bye. See you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and share, and stay tuned for our next video.